everyone, so in today's video I'm going to give you all a update on the Poison SRS. This is the mid-budget version and I have been doing extremely well this league. They are a pretty good upgrades to this build, mainly like it is more tanky now and the damage has just served its purpose so well. You can see there's an additional red tiger now. So, but this is the slightly upgraded version of the mid budget. Okay, but in addition to this tiger, which I will explain it later, you're gonna have a huge damage boost. So let's get on to it. Okay, and as usual, I updated the Google spreadsheet for all of my POE builds, and this one will be just right here under row 19 with the links and the POB all included in. So as of now, I'm making this video, one div is about 120C. It has increased in price. And when you jump into this, all of the links are updated now already. Okay, the build is roughly about 6 divines for items and equipments, and 5 divines if you are lazy to level up the gems. Alright, otherwise, gem wise, they're all free. Yep, they're all free. Okay, so please, don't be lazy, because I have never spent a single currency on my gem. Everything is just level up on your own. It's not the worst, alright? But yes, nonetheless, a 16 divine build can clear the fear and all of the contents that I have done so far. The ridiculous Blight Beyond Delirium, which I will share in the next few days, which is what I'm doing. It's so juicy and delicious, but it probably will kill your graphic cards or your PC. I'm not sure how well your computer can handle or manage the crazy graphics of it. But yes, all of the links are now updated. If there is any problem, please let me know. Okay, oh yes, I forget to add one more row of this. I'll just do a quick one. Why is it not merge bliss? Right. Okay, there we go. Yep, that's something I spotted really quickly. So yes, this is all of the stuff, including your flask, animate guardian, spectra, rune graphs, and your new graphs. Yeah, your new graphs for the keeper league only. Skill gem wise, everything is here. This is based on the max level and what's it, quality, if you will, but otherwise like I say, just level up on your own. Okay, this is a mid budget. It's not a high budget where you need to go awaken version of it. Right, so there we go. If you see any of the links or like anything that is wrong, please do highlight to me and I'll try to change it immediately. Alright, and a quick one for those of you that have not played this build before. Pros and cons of it. Pros, very tanky, has good single target damage, has decent clear, probably can clear 95 or confidently about 97% of the contents of this game. Yeah, I mean, the highest version I actually did was doing Uber with this. I did a Uber Eater of World, which is what people use to farm Nimis, and it's very smooth. I do have a video of it because I was just randomly testing and I realized that the video did not recorded it for some reason, so I don't have it, but yeah, I managed to do it. Okay, so Uber contents, definitely doable. Definitely doable because it's a poison build. Poison chaos builds are just awesome for killing bosses, right? If you have played a poison build before, you will probably understand how it works. So yeah, okay, without further ado, let's go to the POB. Okay, and hello POB, we should just start off with the skill tree first. This is how it look like. Number 1 ascendancy wise, we are keeping everything the same here. Now I've tried to venture into bloodlines and so basically this tree, mindless aggression, bone barrier, and unnatural strength is something that you will never take out. Okay? It's just something that you will never ever take it out. So the only thing that I can remove is Commander of Darkness. But the more I see Commander of Darkness versus like other bloodlines, let's say Pharaoh, what else is there? Katarina or prolonged servitude and stuff like that. I think um this is still the best. Unfortunately, Commander of Darkness is still the best. Like going back to the OG method. Yes, the Warcry one from Pharaoh will probably be really good, but um you gotta find ways to have the elemental resistance because it affects you also. And this elemental resistance also affect your minions, right? This 30% actually is what makes your minions have cap resistance. Because without this, your minions will not be cap resistant. So yeah, I think all in all, Commander Darkness is still the best. It's really a necromancer thing. Yeah. So okay, ascendancy wise, this is how it goes. And I'm gonna go from here pretty quickly. This is mandatory. So going up, we're gonna take the rune graph of fortress right here. This is gonna give you 40% increased global defense. That affects your energy shield and that affects your armor as well. This is really really good right here. Right, and you're gonna go to the right side. Please take this leech mastery. Now, the only purpose of taking this is for your 5% leech is instant, and this 5% leech is instant affects you. Where you get your leech from is basically here. 1% of damage dealt by your minion is leech to you as life. Okay, so you have so many minions attacking you, your life is, if you're gonna get hit by a truck or something like that, like probably what's that? A soul eater monster is gonna hit you really fast, right? You're gonna see your life like up and down really really very quickly because of 5% instant leash is insane. It's insane, okay? Yes, and then we have Eldritch Battery, the Aura nodes here, and then yeah, there's one very weird little life and energy here because this is a level 95 tree, so this is I can't really think of anything else to put because even the cluster is like fully maxed out. Yeah, even the cluster is fully maxed out. There's no point in going another cluster because I don't have enough skill points as of now. So don't really have a choice right here. Alright, so I just pump 1 point here. You can put it anywhere else you want. Honestly, anywhere else. If you want to put like 6% more aura, fine. Like completely fine. Alright, or you want to put like more minion damage here, fine. But I'll just put aura, of course. So yep. And then we have this cluster. Now this cluster I've changed to the 12 passive. I know I used the 8 passive in the previous league because we don't have enough skill points, but now that I have managed it better, I think this one works the best because you're gonna use this cluster for your uh, the higher end high budget version also. And you don't, for here, right? Okay, I just spotted a very quick mistake. So in here, I don't need the 3 strength. Okay, I really do not need the 3 strength. So that's a mistake on my end. All you need is the 3% increase attack and cast speed and then 35% increase effect. Best is you do not have a passive skill. Okay, because you want to take every single thing, and this is just your mandatory 2-line mod. Anything you get from here, like let's say life, resistance, attribute, they are all bonuses that can contribute to the build. If you have any one of them, right, like even all attribute, okay, you can probably not have your items have attribute because you're probably gonna have more than enough of it. Or even resistance, you can just overcap one of it. Like for example, let me just show you a quick one. In my character now, this is the large cluster that I have. Okay, I have cold resistance at maximum life. Like with this, right, every single node is plus 6 to co-resistance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 60% co-resistance just from this, right? If I'm not wrong, my co-resistance is like way over cap. Okay, sorry. My gears are a little bit slightly better. All of my resistance are like over capped by, I don't know, 30%, 35%. Yeah, more than that. Which is what you want, because then that way elemental weakness from the curse will not be affected by you, and there's some other stuff, exposure as well as penetration. Right, and then we will go to this small cluster. So we are still going to use this small cluster, but you don't really need a very expensive one, just something with 25% increase effect, and preferably something with a good life. You're going to only put 2 nodes here, because just with these 2 you are enough of you have enough mana to reserve all of your skills. All right, definitely enough if you follow correctly. Right, so just take note, the rest is a bonus, and then your medium cluster is one that has 25 or 35% increase effect. Okay, again, I just spotted a mistake. I don't need this strength right here, so I'm just gonna change this real quick. There we go. Right. So yeah, all you need is life from death, and preferably 35% effect. But if you cannot find one that has 35%, you can just make do with 25% effect. It's not gonna matter a lot, because you're only gonna take this one node. Okay, you're only gonna take this one node, and the max you can gain out of it is like something with attribute or resistance, which is just one small little node. Right, and why life from death? Now I know so many people have constantly asked me, even last week, like, I don't see any people using this. Why are you the only one that uses? The reason is so simple, because our SRS dies so often. This particular node helps you sustain your whole entire team so well. Like, you guys will be so thankful for me, right? By using this bit when you are farming like insane content such as Delirium, Beyond, Blight. Okay, this tree, I'm literally farming this tree like right now. In my next video, this is in my next or the second next video, I'll probably showcase it. Um, and you will understand why this node is like it's like some treasure that you will never remove from SRS build, because it's just something that your SRS maneuvers or navigate these builds so well. Okay, and this is also the whole reason why I choose SRS over any other minion builds, because this node just helps to sustain your team so goddamn well. Like, okay, I know that now Spectres and Animate Guardian, if they die in the map, um they can be revived in back in your hideout, right? But that's not the whole point. The whole point is when you are doing very powerful boss fights, if your minion dies, you are screwed. that's the fact. Okay, if your animate guardian or your spectres die, that helps to support the whole thing, and you just cannot sustain the whole team by itself because the whole thing just comes as a whole. Um, you're basically screwed. So with this node, and actually one more passive right here, was it this? Yeah, recovers 5% of life on death. You are total recovering like a minimum of 9% of your minion's life per death. And maximum you have 20 SRS. Alright. If just try to imagine, right, if one SRS dies, all of your other minions recover 9%. 5 of your SRS die, which means all of your minions recover 45% life. And this is like something that stacks along the way, because when one SRS dies, another SRS recovers 9%. Right? And then the next SRS die, your third SRS recovers kind of like 18% life. And it goes on and on and on, and that's why your Spectre and Animate Guardian will never die with like these 2 nodes. Alright, okay. Enough explanation. You gotta try it for yourself. then you will understand why this is so goddamn good. Quickening Covenant, put it over here. You have this basically gives you attack speed. You can probably put a Beast Jewel here, but the reason I'm putting this is because minions have chance to suppress spell damage, and this is like another defensive layer for your minions. Not the best, but it's good. Alright, it's good. So okay, moving on to the left side, we have Mind Over Matter. This is gonna be your third defense layer because we are using Eldritch Battery, and Eldritch Battery basically makes your ES on your mana, and Mind Over Matter is 40% of damage taken from mana before life, which means it's gonna eat up your energy shield. Alright, I'll explain more later. Um, okay, just basically on this, you can see our ES has like 3300. It's not exactly the best, but this is, we have many layers of defenses right here, so that's why we are taking this, because it just gives you so much more improvement on like how tanky your character is. Okay, on the left, I don't have to explain all of this, it's quite mandatory. We have another rune graph right here, which is something that many people miss out also. This is the increased reservation efficiency of skills. With just one node, you have 15%. Okay, however, auras from your skill affect, which affect allies, also affect enemies. So we are doing 4 auras here, but technically only 3 auras affect them. Okay, um, I'm just gonna jump quickly right here to here. All right, so the three auras that are affected is one Envy, which is from United in Dream. Okay, the other one is Valhaze, and the third one will be Discipline. So the only one that is really affecting Temper Shield, to interrupt, Temper Shield and Flesh and Stone, yes, they are aura, but they are not necessarily affected. Okay, because number one, Flesh and Stone is just reduce damage, less damage for enemies in aura, but we are dealing poison damage. So I don't know if this actually affects or not, but because the range is not as big, it doesn't exactly affect them as long as you don't go near. Alright, next is the Valhaze. Okay, this is the only one that probably will be quite threatening when you fight bosses. Okay, because your boss is just going to slap real hard on you when you have haste affected with them, and if you activate Valhaze, they're just going to be a boss on steroids. So just be careful when you're using this. However, I will say this is okay. This is actually okay and good to use. Alright. And then next one is Envy, which basically gives you a chaos damage aura. It is still fine because we kept our aura. We kept our chaos resistance. So we need this to actually reach this amount of unreserved mana. So please take note. The next one is the skill tree right here. Based on the previous league, I have now removed this. Okay, and then moving downwards, I remove this also, and because I have removed like a total of 7 points, we are speccing it right into this big cluster. That's why I have a space to actually allocate this whole entire cluster right here, which gives you so much more better stats. Alright, and then you have your watcher side right here. Oh, sorry. One additional thing to take note is I have the Fortress Covenant right here, which is something that I discovered last week. Okay, I realized I can put it right here because notable passive immediates are transformed to instead minions take 20% increased damage, right? We don't have any passive that we're taking right here. Like, yeah, I can take this, but there isn't a need to, so it's just one more endurance chance. So I'm just gonna give up this, and yeah, it fits perfectly right here so that we can put our reservation cluster over here. Okay. Next, no, sorry, just sorry. Following up on here, we're just gonna take this combat stamina to have increased armor, and this is for you to cap your block, as well as glancing blows to cap your block, life, and then of course protection mastery. Corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you. Like, this is a must. This is a must. Okay, otherwise you're gonna see your life dropping really quickly for no reason. So please take note of that. Apparently, if your minions are affected by corrupted blood, they still will not die so easily. It's just because of this two note that I mentioned. All right, you really gotta try them out yourself. And then of course I have a tree for level 90 and level 100. If you want for a level 81, I would suggest this is where you can just remove some of the damage nodes. Okay, like your 3 minion nodes here. Okay, so if it's level 90, it'll be like that. I remove the instant leech. I don't think you need the instant leech. And then level 80, you can remove some of the minion nodes here. You can remove the minion nodes here. They are all basically more damage, which you can pump more and more from 80 to 90 because you're just leveling up. The real game starts when you are at level 90. Alright, so do take note of that. Alright, I've talked too much in this skill tree. I'm going to go to the skills now. So I'm only going to talk about what has changed. Alright. Number one, I decided to just put Awaken Melee Splash here because it's cheap. Alright, you probably will get level 1 right here. And then just level it out on your own. It's cheap, so why not? So yeah. Anyway, otherwise if you feel like you don't want to spend the currency, please just use the normal mini splash, it works as well. The clear is already very decent, so it doesn't honestly really matter. Aura, we have added flesh and stone. Okay, this thing is like one of the best addition I have managed to put in this build right now, because it is just so tanky that when I do the fear, I'm like, wow, this build can actually solo the fear very comfortably. I honestly was pretty shocked. And when I was on this mid-budget Poison SRS lastly, and I was doing T17, honestly I was struggling a little bit to keep up or sustain, because yes, it is tanky, but there will be some mods that is still quite insane. So stuff like Volatile Core, the one that has Meteor when you use a flask, I couldn't tank all of it. Like it was insane. And then the blood saw something, yeah, those kind. Maven interruption, Cyrus, Searing Exarch, all of these debuffs and whatever, I couldn't take it all. Now that I have more armor and flesh and stone, it's it's insane. Like I can just tank all of those very comfortably already. Alright, I've tested it out so many times on T17 this week. Unfortunately, um, T17 is not a good place to farm right now. It's just somewhere for me to like trial run. So yeah, the build is just so much tankier right now. Okay, minion support. This is what I've changed, okay? No more minion life. Instead, we're gonna use Empower level 3. Why? Um, Number one, I want to say first, minion life is definitely better than Empower. Okay? But however, the reason I'm using Empower is because so that this is supposed to be level 20. Okay, my bad. This is supposed to be level 20. I'm gonna save it. The reason is because you are going to upgrade this immediately as soon as you have the currency. Alright, when your race spectra is level 25, you can raise the 4th spectra, and this is where your perfect forest tiger is gonna come in, and it's gonna make your DPS like insanely high. Really insanely high. Because number one, you now have haste, which means you can replace Val Haste with Malevolence, more DPS, and two, all your SRS is going to have a maximum frenzy charge, which is going to buff more DPS. It's just a huge damage boost to it. Okay, so take note, this is one of the very potent changes. Utility is the same. Generosity, now Golem support for Feeding Frenzy we're gonna put here. And then the Gut skill, I'm going to put in additional Convocation. Okay? This is something that I discovered last week also. I really need the convocation because this damn turtle right here is like moving so slowly always. Okay, if I don't have convocation on, look, I don't have determination, and yeah, the turtle is moving so slowly. So with convocation, right, I am going to constantly have determination. There will be times where you move too far away from the turtle and you don't have determination. So yes, try to get automation with 20% and convocation as well. Okay, because with convocation and the new fall bond, this is gonna have a very short cooldown. So base duration is 2 seconds. Skill effect duration is more than that, which doesn't really matter. But what we want is 30% increased cooldown recovery rate, and this as well. Where is it? Skills have 5% increased cooldown recovery. So I will say every 2 seconds or less, your convocation is going to happen. Okay. The other one that I would like to talk about is you can actually take this where is it? Is it here? I know it's one of the support. Yeah, sorry. So in the minion defense mastery, right? If if I could have allocate, I would actually allocate the 40% increased cooldown recovery rate for convocation. Okay, because that will lead to 70% increased cooldown recovery rate, and you are definitely gonna have the auras every single time. Definitely insane. Okay, it's really insane. And not only that, if you use convocation, you have additional regeneration. So full uptime, why not? Right, and the last one will be flame dash. We still need a movement skill, and this is gonna be on the ring one, which we have changed. This is gonna be unset ring right now. Okay, and next up is the items. So the number one thing that has changed is United in Dream. We are using the Foulborn version right now. I wouldn't say it's insane, but it's got a good buff. Okay. Now the changes with this is that we now have this plus 30% to quality of all minion skill gems. It looks very insane. It's not. It is not. Okay, but it's still a good addition. So how does this affect, right? It affects on a few things, which is not reflected on POB. Number one, it affects Summon Raging Spirit. Now we have a 75% chance of, you know what? Let me just go into this. I'm going to show you right here. Okay, you can see right here, I have a 75% chance to summon an extra SRS, which is how I get the maximum stack almost every single time right now. Anyhow, you can just hold a right click for 1 or 2 seconds, your SRS will be max. Right. The next thing that will be affected is of course your Ray Spectral. It's gonna have like you can see right here, minions have 80% to all elemental resistance. Like hello? Yeah. Animate Guardian, it just moves 60% faster now. Not really important. Um and then you have your Stone Golem. I think this is one of the things that greatly affect because it has 50% increased buff effect right now. Okay, and what does this do? I think this is probably one of the best because 50% increased buff effect means we have 10% increased defenses and we have life generated also per second. I'm not sure if the regenerated per second is affected by this, but definitely the 10% increased defense is affected. Okay. Next is Flash Offering. Okay, now there is an additional 15% increase if you're offering just from this 30%. So it's a good buff, I would say. Yeah, and of course you have Convocation, which gives you 30% increase effect duration and 30% increase cooldown recovery rate. Really awesome right here. Okay, it's just that I never pump if I actually put the what is that here, I'm not sure if I can. Oh, I can. Okay, I'll do it later. But yes, we can have up to 50% cooldown recovery rate, which is awesome. Yep. So this is the ones that are affected by it. So that's why I say it's not very insane. Okay, it's not very insane because it doesn't add damage. It doesn't add a lot of damage. And minion skill gems is not minion support gems. So please take note. Um, this has changed, right? Now that the deafening essence of fear applies minion, it has deal increased damage to helmet. We now can do something like this, which is you have a fractured to level of all minion skill gem and then just spam essence of fear until you get a life and a resistance, and the last one you can just craft anything you want. Of course, the strength and dex is probably the best, right? Because most likely you will have a extra suffix slot, and this is where you can craft that. Oh wait, this is not correct. I'm sorry. Oops. Sorry. Your covenant, please. You do not need. No, wrong one. Wrong one. Okay, why is my mouse battery low right now? Not exactly the best time, but you do not need this. Okay, this is not supposed to be corrupted. It's supposed to be the usual, normal ones. So yes, this is the correct one. Um, the gloves is the same. The boots is also the same. Tag is also the same. Now, the ring we have changed, okay? Because we need one more socket, so I decided to use the unset ring. This is where your flame dash is gonna be put here. Right? We are still capped with resistance by over 30%, so it's very good. Okay, it's very good right here. However, chaos resistance is still lacking about 5%. So it'll be nice, right, if you can get this 5% somewhere else. Like anywhere else, it's good. Okay, like even on the amulet, if you can put a what is that? A catalyst on it, or any one of them with a catalyst on it to increase your chaos resistance, then you'll probably be maxing it out already. Right? Otherwise, you can put it on your small cluster jewel. Okay, so even if on the small cluster jewel, I were to put chaos resistance, let me give you 3%. 3% will be kept. Really very simple right here. Alright, I'm just gonna save this. Next is the belts. The belt is the same, right? The flask is all also the same. So now we have a new graph, which is the hands. Okay, which is these two hands right here. We're gonna use summoning tool graph and replicating ash graph. Okay, this is the one kind of like mandatory at this point to me, because this thing summon minions. Okay, it summons like lots of spiderlings, and these spiderlings scale with your build. It's insane. Yes, I think it spawns about 8 of them. And you know what? Let me just check in game. When you use so basically when you use the offering skill, this guy will summon an army of highborn breach. Okay, it summons about 10. Right? So just think of it as 10 more other SRS, which is nuts. Which is nuts to me. Okay, and these minions have chance to apply brittle on hit, which is again nuts. There is no configuration right here that actually lets me apply brittle to them. Alright, but um it's definitely more DPS than this. Right, that's for sure. Okay. So yeah. And on this right here, the graph itself basically provides you, okay, let me go back to POB. The graph itself basically provides 8% increased attack, 4 to 8. Okay, so not necessarily 8. What ideally you want on the graph is, of course, increase graph blood gain so that you can craft more stuff. But if you do not want, um, this is probably the best in slot that I can think of. To 2% maximum core resistance, is literally what I'm using right now, I think. Yeah, there we go. I managed to get this off from the market, and I don't know if there's any sitting right now, because when I saw this there's only two in the market, and there's like it's like 50C, so might as well. Yeah, might as well. And then next will be Ash graph. Um, so I know there is a graph that has molten shell, right? I remember it's Zoth graph or something like that. However, however, I'm gonna go there quickly. I have tried using it and I feel it's really bad. Okay,
I greet you once again.
let me find. Is it this? Zoth graph. Zoth graph. Wait, what? I don't have it. Eh? Okay, unfortunately I do not have it. I don't know why, but so basically Zoth graph. Can I craft it? I think I can, right? Zoth here. There we go. Can I see what is? Oh, it's not supported. Okay, yeah. So basically, this skill, Molten Zoth Graph, is Molten Shell. However, the cooldown is 20 seconds, but the buff lasts for 10 seconds. Now, I have been in so much situation whereby the monsters is strong, and I need this like additional absorbing 4000 damage on and off, right? However, when I use um this Zoth Graph, Molten Zoth Graph, I took the damage for like in a few hits of like 1 second, and I gotta wait 19 seconds for the next molten shell, which is crazy because a normal molten shell cooldown is probably only about 2 to 3 seconds, and then I can use it again. So this is, even though it has increased armor, and this is awesome because it probably gives you, I think it does give you minion, or it gives you minion duration, not minion damage. Yeah, so to me it's not exactly really good, because I really still want that steel skin or molten shell to be almost full uptime. Every cooldown every 1 to 2 seconds, and just reuse it again. Right, and steel skin is still one of the good choice here because we can be immune to bleed from it. Right, so this is why I'm using replicating Ash Graph. And another reason why I'm using Ash Graph is because this thing has minions deal increased damage. I believe the one I'm using is the same. There we go. I am using this, which minions deal 47% increased damage. Good enough for me. And you also have increased graph blood gain. So if you have 2 increased graph blood gain, you're gonna get a like 1000 plus every single small, what is that? Small encounter of your Hiveborn. If you're doing Hiveborn Fortress, you get like 6000, 5000. That's insane. Alright, so yes, this is the two I would recommend the best. Okay, not the Ash Graph is not exactly, I don't see anything better than this, okay? Because yeah, you can probably use other stuff, but this clones, right, when it bursts, it detonates shock ground. And shock ground basically makes us slightly more tankier, and this affects bosses as well. So it's really good. Okay, plus the cooldown is low, so it will consistently just keep casting again and again. The duration is 8 seconds. Cooldown time is 5 seconds. You probably always have the shock ground on the bosses, so it's really awesome right here. Right, and then the rest is the same that I've mentioned on the skill tree. Alright, please take note for the Animate Guardian, this is what we will be using. Dying Breath. Near cast, we don't need the, what is that? The Cowling Strike from Kingmaker, okay? Because we already have Cowling Strike from our Spectra. So I choose to use Dying Breath because Dying Breath basically gives damage, right? So yeah, and then Leer Cast for more damage. Body armor, we're gonna use Guard of the Airfield. I think this is really the best in slot because you not your nearby enemies cannot do critical strike. This is so important for survivability. Nearby allies action speed cannot be modified to below base value, which means chill, all this is not exactly affected also. Alright. And then the others is not really important. SNF Gentle Touch gonna apply temporal chains, plus they explode a small radius, really good. And windscreen is just for us to apply temporal chains for your animate guardian. Okay, last but not least, please look at the notes. This is what I have written for you. For those of you that want to progressively convert to Poison SRS, I would say this is the list of items you should go accordingly, right? And then if you want upgrades, this is the upgrades that you should do, which I have mentioned earlier. Okay, and other than that, I want to talk a little bit about the farming strategies this build can do. I will say the only thing that it probably cannot do well is Legion. Yeah, it's only Legion. Other than that, this build is a masterpiece at doing boss rush, killing bosses, and I think it's just extremely perfect to do blight. It's insanely good because it's so
I must
tanky.
attend to my duties soon.
Yeah, it's so tanky, and he has a damage to actually kill all those crazy unique blight bosses. All you need to do is just freeze and stun them, and yeah, the floor is all yours to just slowly wither and kill them right now. It's it's really good. Other than that, I've been farming boss rush as well, Elder Guardians. A little bit of boss farming from the Uber Elders, but I'm not getting good rewards from there. You really need to farm long term. What others? Essence, Bestiary Essence farming is also very good because this build has good single target clear. Right? Yeah, that's about it. Alright, I hope you guys will have a fun time playing this build as well as I do. I always love minions at the start because it's just so easy. Autopilot, brain dead. I don't have so much brain cells to actually do so many things right now. So yeah, in the next few days, I will probably upload more farming strategies that I use with this build. And yeah, I will be updating the high budget version for this. Okay. Um, whether I'll be streaming or not, if you have any questions, please just to ask me on the Discord channel. Otherwise, I will try to stream one day so that if you guys have any questions, um, just pop by and just watch me farm some stuff that is not hurting my GPU. Otherwise, yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.